the reason I wanted to plant a Brian Boru oak, this is a graft from the Brian Boru oak. The reason I wanted to plant it was that in the time of Brian Boru, the entire society, environment and economy was wood-based, forest-based. All of our implements were forest-based. That is why the Brehon Law is so specific in dividing into 4 classifications the 4 divisions of the forest. The lords, the nobles, the princes, the commons. These were lords. This was a lord. The crabapple. The tree of abundance. Does anyone here know Jeremy Irons' castle at Ballydehob? Has anyone ever seen it? No one's ever seen it?
Yeah.
What colour is it painted, Miss O'Leary?
Pink. Pink.
Pink or closer peach pink? It's relevant. The Brehon Law lays down the exact rules for the painting of the big house. Must be seen from so many distances at so many height above sea level. It's actually sort of, originally it would have been a saffron peach, which would have been a superior colour in Ireland. And of course the colour of his castle. When the planners in Cork said, "Hey, Irons, what are you doing? Painting a great 15th century tower house, peach and pink." He reminded them that he was following the old ancient Bronze Age laws of Ireland. Stone, keeps and the houses of the big people were painted the same colour as the colour of their dress. And that was a sort of peach pink. Where do they get their peach pink from? Lichens, one. But number 2, the bark of the crabapple. Small amount of bark has an amazing amount of dye and fixative to turn your clothes saffron. Though I don't recommend it, because I don't believe that austerity, well, austerity is not my cup of tea. You won't find me saying Hare Krishna. But it's that colour that they used to paint their castles. No, austerity would not be my cup of tea. Just occurred to me, I just thought of a little story. A very simple story. I heard this, I travelled, as you know, all over the place for a number of years on my own. Go travelling on your own, guys, if you want to go to the developing world like South America or Africa or India or into Tibet at Gangtok through Darjeeling. Travel on your own. Indigenous communities welcome you more than 15 Sitka spruce Germans or Australians. Germans and Australians tend to come into villages in the Himalayas, into northern India. It overwhelms the locals. They can't handle this line dancing march of, of men and women from Australia. No, God forgive me. But anyway, I picked up this story, a very simple story. I think about this story because it reminds me that there may be stupefying transition in our world. Stupefying transition. We're losing young men with Alzheimer's, 34 years old in Limerick. Weird phenomena are manifesting and embodying themselves. Welcome, Tony. Thanks for the trees. So, a man is going down the village and he passes a little Buddhist temple. Don't get hung up on the word Buddhist. He passes a little Buddhist temple and he looks in and the monk says, "Come in," and your man goes in and looks at the images and the icons and the beautiful art, and the little monk gives the visitor a little bell with the Buddha on the bell. And the man goes home to his cabin and looks at the bell and, "What will I do with this bell? The Buddha's on the... I'll hang it on around my cat's neck. And whenever the cat moves around, it'll ring the bell and, it'll be a Buddhist cat." So the story of his house, as in all reality, the cats live upstairs, but the mice forever have lived under the floorboards. And they can't make head or tail. They call a big council. I remind you that in the Book of Invasions, the oldest book, the earliest book written in Ireland, it starts off with the 4 prophecies. The wise will give bad judgment. The oak wood of Ireland will not feed a pig. The fish of rivers and sea will poison the people, and women will lose virtue. It's written so long ago it's not even known. So, the old wise mice gather down onto the floorboards and say, "What does this mean?" Well, if he's wearing a Buddhist bell, he's become a Buddhist. He must be a vegetarian. All our prayers for all of the centuries since we began to evolve from slime moles, all our prayers are answered. We're now free to dance and sing and move around because the cat is now a vegetarian. And they begin to dance around the cat, and the cat, of course, is in lotus position. Oh, he's in lotus position. One eye is open, and the cat is thanking God. He no longer, in my old age, I don't have to hunt for my breakfast. My breakfast comes to me. So everyone's thanking God, and so forth. And the cat in one swoop has his breakfast, and then the wise mice very quickly become alert that there are certain things that won't change. And those that are carnivore, those that are vertebrate, those that are herbivore, these are basic rules within. We have a choice. We can feed low in the chain or feed high up in the chain. Everything else doesn't have a choice.